Well, welcome to the Fall 2025 Community College DataJam finale. We are really excited about having the finale from what is the largest community college DataJam we have run to date. This is very exciting. So, as you can see on this slide, we have 4 schools that have been participating this fall. We have Jamestown Community College with 14 teams, quite amazing. We have Queensboro Community College, also in New York, Sinclair Community College, that's in Ohio, and Pasadena City College in Pasadena, California. So we have teams from one coast to the other, and we are super excited about that. I'm just going to remind everybody what the overall goals of the DataJam are. We've been running the high school level DataJam since 2013, but we started running a community college version of the DataJam just 4 semesters ago, and we are thrilled that it's become popular and so many students are participating. This semester, we had 105 students participating. So that's a big change from the first semester when we ran this, where we just had 2 teams and about 18 students participating. You guys are amazing. So the overall goals of the DataJam are summarized in this slide. We are very interested in training talent for the next generation. Data science is going to be important for absolutely everything that everybody's doing, not just mathematicians, statisticians, or people that are interested in numbers. There's nothing you can be doing that doesn't use data science. And so we really need to train people. In the job market, the general growth rate is about 5% a year. But in data science, the growth rate is at 34%, and it's been that way for the last decade. Every year, this enormous growth in data science. So we desperately need to be training young people to take over and analyze all the data we're collecting. We're very interested in developing both local and national talent. So within every city, there are a huge number of businesses and groups that are interested in having data science. You'll be able to find jobs in the job market in data science no matter where you are. Everybody needs it. However, there's also a huge national issue. There isn't anything that the United States is doing at this point in time that doesn't require analyzing data, being able to think with data, and draw conclusions from data. So we care both about developing local talent and national talent. There's a huge amount of research that needs to be done. We didn't used to have ability to collect all of this data. Now that we do, we should be looking at it very carefully and making data-informed decisions. And so by training you to be really good data scientists and think about it, we're driving research interests of the future. We think we're improving STEM education and career equity. Everybody can participate in this kind of data science explosion that's happening, and nobody should be left out. The DataJam bends over backwards to be equitable and to make resources available to anybody who's interested. And over the long term, this will sustain a lifetime learning community. We will all be able to communicate much better with each other because we all have been trained to think about data. So as these circles indicate, you may think, oh, this is just a competition for students and educators. But businesses that need it just as bad as students and educators, where are they going to get the next pool of talented folks from to hire for their jobs? They care a lot about this. And the communities as a whole care about it. You're going to be in much better shape as a community if you are training youth to be able to make data-based decisions, and your businesses are happy because they have people they can hire. So we think the DataJam really encompasses everybody, and it's a win-win-win. Now, I just want to take a minute or two to tell you how exciting 2025 has been for us. And I've put up on this slide a few of the new things that we've been doing that we didn't do before. So we've always run the DataJam, but this year we've developed a really strong partnership with the Responsible Data Science Center at the University of Pittsburgh. And responsible data science is key. It's one thing to collect all this data, but it's incredibly imperative that we think carefully with the data and we use data analysis carefully and make real thoughtful decisions. So responsible data science is key, and we are big believers and proponents of this. Now, with the Responsible Data Science Center, we have a new project that we will be launching next month. We've developed a DataJam AI mentor, an AI tool that you can use to help you as you are developing your research question. So developing a research question is one of the most difficult things about a DataJam project. How do you come up with a question that you're really interested in, that you know that there are publicly available data sets for, and that can really be answered by analyzing data? And the DataJam mentor has been trained on literally thousands of feedback that we have given over the last 13 years to teams about their proposals. So we believe that this tool will make it easier for teams to come up with really solid research questions. We also have been working for the last year with the Mark Cuban AI Bootcamp and their alumni network. So the Mark Cuban AI Bootcamp runs every November. It runs in 30 cities across the country. It's a 3-week boot camp where high school youth learn to use artificial intelligence, and they come up with creative projects. They graduate a lot of alumni every year, and those alumni are looking for things to do both at the high school level and the community college level. And so we offer webinars, and in fact we'll be offering a webinar tonight to the Mark Cuban alumni. Last year we had several DataJam teams of alumni from the Mark Cuban Bootcamp participate. One of these teams was in Texas, and they won the Central region of the United States award for the high school DataJam. So we're really excited about this collaboration. We also have developed a collaboration with SMASH, which is a national organization that expands innovation in STEM training. So science, technology, engineering, and math. And they have become very interested in data science. So we're partnering with them to offer DataJam workshops in different places around the country to get youth excited about data science, both again at the high school and the community college level, and introduce them to things like the DataJam competition and SMASH competitions. And lastly, I want to mention that we have started to do work internationally. This is the third year that we are hosting the DataJam in Jordan, of all places, in refugee camps where there are over 100,000 refugees from Gaza living in Jordan now, a lot of high school youth. And we have been collaborating with the Global Center on Climate Change, Water, Energy, Food, Health Systems, which is a National Institute of Health group, and getting youth in Jordan to start to try to answer questions in a DataJam competition that will help deal with the problems with climate change that Jordan is having. This year, we are also hoping to expand the DataJam to Hong Kong, to China, and to Vietnam. So you're participating in a competition that is starting to be available globally. And you probably all know that because this week, all of your teams presented to a group of judges. And we were very excited about collaborating with Women in Data Science Worldwide, WIDS Worldwide. They have ambassadors all over the world. A number of those ambassadors served as judges this week. So you met them. They were judges from Great Britain, judges from Asia, judges from Africa that were participating in listening to your projects and providing feedback. It's been very wonderful to collaborate with them. And so we're excited this session to have plenary speakers from WIDS International. And I'm going to turn it over in just a minute to Chizu Lyons and Amy Jackard, who co-lead WIDS International. We are super excited to have them. I met them when they came to Pittsburgh in September. We hit it off right away and decided that we could do a lot of collaborative projects. So let me stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to turn it over to Chizu, who should be able to share her screen.
Yes, hi Judy, and hi everyone. I'm so honored to be speaking to you all. Amy actually is the person who's going to be sharing the slides, and while she brings it up, um, I want to just say how excited I am that so many of our ambassadors jumped in and took part in this in this event, in this exercise as mentors. Um, so while Amy's still bringing it up, I just want to talk to you about WIDS Worldwide. It actually, we're not a new organization. We started out as an initiative on the campus of Stanford. And as an initiative, meaning let's try to see if we hold an event of only women on stage, how many people would show up? And lo and behold, in 2 days, we sold out. And that tradition continued. But we then became a global movement. We did something early on that is share our passion and our mission with people all around the world and gave them the challenge of creating their own WIDS community wherever they are. And that's how we got to over 163 countries to be part of our community. So who you're interacting with are what we call our outreach, our WIDS communities around the world. And that is, we're really excited about that. It gives us a good platform to work with the DataJam. We have a very programmatic approach. We enable our ambassadors to become leaders in their community. And we have a lot of different programs that I don't have time to go through here. And we're nonprofit supported by corporations, foundations, and private donors. And one of the things I'm really excited about, besides being a global community, is that we have about 50-50 representation of academia as well as industry. And that gives us a really great opportunity to help to cultivate the pipeline of future leaders in the field, starting with students all the way to professionals. So if you would advance, Amy. Oh, okay. So I said that. We provide upskilling resources, mentoring resources. We create a community of networking. So there's a lot that you can find on our website. Please come and browse what else we have to offer, no matter who you are and what your current career stage might be, or where you're studying, and where your stage is in your academic journey. Now let's advance. So Judy asked me to talk about why I think data science is universally important. And so before I became the executive director at WIDS, I had a corporate career. I was a data scientist, starting with actually building models. We didn't call them LLMs back then. It was many years ago, to actually leading analytic business units. And I thought, well, it's obvious to me. If you ask me why data science is important, I can tell you in terms of how it's important for businesses to generate profit, to become efficient, to launch new products. It's so important to understand business, their customers, to serve the customers better. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go into those examples. Instead, I'm going to give you a very personal example, and that is my conversation with my daughter throughout the years. So my daughter, please feel sorry for her, because and I have an engineering degree. My husband has an engineering degree, is a math teacher, and my son always loved math. And my daughter is the only one who didn't love math. And she felt like a freak in our household. So I remember having lots of conversations with her why it is so important to understand numbers and data and patterns. And I remember picking up this book. If you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it. It's a person's, Hans Rosling. He has such a dynamic and understandable way of by storytelling what's happening in the world through the lens of data. And I found his nuggets of insight so important. One of the things that he does is compare human instincts with data and facts, right? So, and in that, I remember telling my daughter at one point, she said, "Oh, do you know that there are this many people who are dying in India?" Right? And thinking, okay, so here's the power of putting context under that number, right? The number seems big, but let's put something in the denominator and try to understand, ask a lot of questions, right? So where's that number coming from? How is that ratio compared to another ratio? And that helped her understand that this is not a complicated mathematically formula. It's a mindset of critical thinking. It's a mindset and critical thinking, and a way to try to understand the world around her through numbers and data. So I think it's still a work in progress. I have to be honest, but this is what we're trying to do with WIDS. Make it very approachable, make it relevant to every one of the people out there, and have them lean in and participate in this journey of becoming data scientists, right? Because it is universally important now. It's not just important to the niche population. When I started my career, it is universally important. And you all know about all the conversation about how AI is taking over our jobs and all that. Panic, panic. It's probably somewhere in the middle. But I just felt like this example and this book best describe for me how data and data science is universally important. So I could talk forever here, but I'm going to have to pass to Amy to have her talk about the curriculum that we're developing, that Judy, you saw a little bit of, right, when we're in Pittsburgh. And it's all about that. It's like understanding the world around us through data. Go ahead, Amy.
Yeah, so our newest programmatic offering is our Inspire curriculum, which is based on the framework of what we've termed the WIDS Human Edge. And the human edge represents skills that make us uniquely human: critical thinking, as Chisu mentioned, complex problem solving, communication, and storytelling. In our Inspire curriculum, the human edge skills are introduced and woven throughout high impact modules that follow the stages of the AI and data science project lifecycle. Most programs start with tools and techniques, and this curriculum starts with reasoning. Students learn to see how data connects to people and their choices and consequences. This curriculum is particularly beneficial for students with non-traditional or non-technical backgrounds, and it gives them the confidence to engage with AI and data science through a human-centered lens. And the learning outcomes from this material is AI readiness, data literacy, and critical digital thinking. And As we mentioned earlier, we met Judy this fall. We were in Pittsburgh at the Carnegie Mellon campus, and we hosted our first Inspire workshop. And we had 18 high school students attend. 3 PhD students from Carnegie Mellon taught the course. And what stood out the most was how quickly the students connected ethical reasoning with technical skill. At the end of the day, students self-reported greater confidence in their own thinking, stronger ethical awareness, and a sharper ability to question AI outputs. And yeah, it was overall a fantastic day and experience, and we are excited to continue to get this curriculum out there with more workshops.
Okay. So just quickly, what's next for WIDS is what we develop in terms of curriculum. We are going to make it available to a broader community, professionals, early to mid-career professionals, to help them upskill and be AI ready, make meaningful connections amongst others, because community really helps in this learning journey, and help in the navigation of career journeys. And that has been quite challenging recently, not just for students who are graduating, but also people who are already in the field. And lastly, very quickly, last slide. I want to thank you for the time you gave us. I just love talking about this. 10 minutes is a little bit challenging, but we'll wrap it up quickly. I just want to let you know the ambassadors that jumped in here. This is what WIDS is about at the end of the day. We're just the central team that are producing content and making it available. We have ambassadors from Beirut, from Tokyo, Japan, Azerbaijan, in Africa out of Kenya, and in the Bay Area where I reside. And they go from high school students to professionals to professors, all wanting to do the same thing, share their passion about data science and AI, help develop a community that's welcoming, supportive in the learning journey, and they themselves also get elevated and recognized in the process. And that's what this is. It's to give something and really fulfill one's passion and one's dreams. And with that, I want to thank you again for your time.
Thank you. That was wonderful. So we are next. I'm going to share my screen again, and we are going to look at some of the projects that we had this time. This is very exciting. Let me just get this going.
Did you know that almost half of all released prisoners end up back in jail? This is the 2025 DataJam. I'm Alan, that's Anisha, and that's Lillian, and together we are part of the Pasadena City College Team 2. So after analyzing a bunch of data, here's what we found. What we ended up finding was that recidivism rates in private prisons was actually significantly lower than in public prisons. Recidivism rates are largely dependent on public policy changes within the criminal justice system, and that quarantine during the COVID-19 pandemic has historically proven to be one of the most effective measures at reducing not only recidivism, but crime in general.
For their DataJam project, Sinclair College Team 2 took a deep dive into the potential benefits of higher education across the state of Ohio. The team looked at data on yearly earnings, SNAP benefit utilization, and unemployment rates within the state of Ohio, and compared that with individuals' reported level of education to see how furthering one's education influences job security and financial well-being. During their analysis, the team discovered that, on average, yearly earnings increase alongside the level of education, while SNAP utilization and unemployment rates decrease as the level of education increases. The team found the greatest difference in outcome between individuals with a high school diploma and those with a bachelor's degree. This topic is so relevant to people who are looking to further their education, and I think that having lots of information about the benefits or drawbacks of pursuing higher education can be really useful in helping people make a decision that is best for them. So congratulations and well done, Sinclair College Team 2.
The project that Jamestown Team 2 undertook was examining the salary of starting NFL quarterbacks versus their performance to see if teams who invested heavily in an expensive quarterback were getting their money's worth. The answer is absolutely yes. As you can see here in the middle graph on their poster, the number of wins was strongly correlated with the quarterback's yearly salary, with a correlation of 0.604 and a p-value less than 0.001. And similar findings were found looking at other metrics that contribute directly to a team's success, such as passer ratings and number of touchdowns.
Jamestown Community College Team 5 examined the relationship between air quality and asthma diagnoses for their DataJam project, asking the research question of, does poor air quality increase asthma diagnoses? The team hypothesized that poor air quality does increase the rate of asthma diagnoses, and to investigate this, they examined AQI, which stands for Air Quality Index, and data on asthma diagnoses from 3 different countries with similar sizes of population, these countries being the United States, Indonesia, and Pakistan. During their analysis of data between the years 2022 and 2025, the team found that there was a weak correlation between AQI and asthma diagnosis rates, and proposed further analysis that includes data from more countries over a larger time span. Well done on your DataJam project, Jamestown Team 5.
Hey everyone, this is Nafis Hossain from Queensborough Community College, one of the teams for this year's DataJam project team. This year we will be presenting our project on preliminary analysis of single-cell RNA sequencing data of colorectal cancer tissue. Cancer is one of the most leading causes of death worldwide, and our study aims to find some new insights to some new biomarkers which scientists can use for the future.
Hi, my name is Haider Ali. I'm from Queensborough Community College. Through the computational analysis of colorectal cancer tissues, we have identified different cell clusters and the marker gene profiles. Thank you.
Jamestown Team 10 looked at how the implementation of safety measures over the past 70 years has impacted the number of fatalities in the sport of Formula One racing. This graph shows the number of fatalities over the years, and you can see there's been a marked decrease in fatalities. In 1981, a carbon fiber shell for the car was introduced, and it was much stiffer and provided increased safety. There was a statistically significant decrease in fatalities in the 20 years after the CFM introduction versus the 20 years before. The Hans device, head and neck support, was introduced in 2003 and led to further significant declines in fatalities.
Kick back and grab some popcorn because it's movie time. For their DataJam project, Jamestown Community College Team Number 3 is looking at the relationship between the length of a movie's runtime and how that may affect that movie's reception, represented by that movie's IMDb, or Internet Movie Database rating. The team's hypothesis was, the longer the runtime of a movie, the lower that movie's rating number would be. To investigate their hypothesis, the team collected runtime and rating information for over 1,000 different movies. After analyzing the data, what the team found was that there appears to be a minimal relationship between the length of a movie and its runtime, with the team concluding that filmmakers and other stakeholders should prioritize elements other than just the runtime in order to improve a film's performance. This was a really interesting look into the world of movies and their critical reception, so congratulations to Jamestown Team 3 on their DataJam project.
Jamestown Team 8 used a large data set to ask the question of how do pH levels affect marine life. They looked at bodies of water that had a wide range of pH levels, as you can see on this bottom graph, and a wide range of number of species present, as you see on this top graph. But by plotting the number of species observed versus pH, there was no significant correlation. These findings disproved their hypothesis that the higher pH levels in a body of water would be associated with a decrease in the number of species populating that body of water.
Jamestown Community College Team 1's DataJam project investigated the relationship between lifestyle and sleep quality. More specifically, the team hypothesized that higher levels of physical activity contribute to a longer average sleep duration and better quality of sleep for individuals. The team analyzed a large data set containing data on sleep quality, duration, physical activity level, and stress levels, and found that of all the variables analyzed, stress levels demonstrated the strongest correlation with quality of sleep. With more and more individuals across the United States reporting lower quality and infrequent sleep as per the CDC, this project is very relevant to the day-to-day experiences of many Americans, especially college students. I look forward to more research being done on this topic, but for now, congratulations and well done on your DataJam project, Jamestown Team 1.
We will come back and have rest of the projects highlighted after our next presentation, but it's my pleasure now to introduce Zach Lindquist, who's been a DataJam mentor the entire time he's been in college. He's a senior now, but he came to an informational meeting at the beginning of his freshman year, got very excited about becoming a DataJam mentor, and he's been a phenomenal mentor for the last 4 years. The reason we asked him to speak tonight is he played a key role in really allowing us to offer the DataJam at the community college level. He got a summer fellowship from the Honors College a couple summers ago. His hometown is near Jamestown Community College in New York, and he proposed to talk with faculty at Jamestown, get a sense of whether they'd like to get involved in the DataJam. He developed slides that allowed us to introduce the DataJam at the community college level, and I think he's, in a large part, the reason that we've successfully been able to grow the community college DataJam. So, Zach, we're extremely happy to have you tonight.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for that nice introduction. Um, I will pull up my slide deck for us right now. Give me one moment. Alrighty. There we go. Can we see that?
Yeah.
Perfect. Alrighty. So I'm here today to talk to you guys about why data science matters, especially in healthcare. So Dr. Cameron did a very nice job introducing me. My name is Zach Lindquist. I'm a senior at Pitt, as she mentioned. I'm a neuroscience major, planning to go to medical school. Um, Before we get kind of going here, is anybody here from Jamestown Community College? Is there anybody here from JCC? I don't know. I
I'm
say
sure
that
there
because,
are.
yeah, because I'm from Bemis Point, so it's right down the road. So that's kind of relevant there. But yeah, we'll get started here. Whoops, gotta click into it. So what is data science? I'm sure you guys all know. What you guys are doing is you're finding patterns, you're making informed decisions based off this data and solving real problems. And I have here, it's a mindset. It's not just coding programs and stuff. So it's important to look for patterns and stuff in data sets because it's going to make you understand certain trends and what's going on in the world. Um, and brief introduction there. And then data science in any field. This is what I wanted to talk about today is why data science is important not only for mathematicians, but why it's important for everybody. So as I mentioned before, I am a neuroscience major on the pre-med track. I also have a business point here for a random degree that we can talk about. But in neuroscience, we've used data a lot of different ways to analyze brain activity patterns or different a good example I have is I was in a research lab looking at perioperative pain studies. And what we kind of did there is we looked at how behavior changed based on different signaling cascades that we may have blocked or removed entirely. So kind of plotting that out, and we'd make like visual is important. We'd make visualizations and stuff. I didn't put it in here. I couldn't find it to put it in here, but that is a good example I have that I've personally had experience with. Another thing is you can connect behavior, like I said, neural signals as well, like EEGs. And it can also help research accuracy a lot in the field of neuroscience. And in healthcare, it's even more important because you want to kind of predict patient outcomes. You want to support the patient as best as you possibly can. And data is very important in making clinical decisions. Like good example might be, this surgery has a 99% chance of being effective, or, in certain cancers, they have different, statistics on if they're treatable or not, and identify risk factors earlier. Again, that kind of plays in hand with the cancer example I had there. But for business, it's important in a lot of different ways. Like marketing, you got to understand human behavior and marketing again with trends and patterns, and then making evidence-based decisions, whether or not you're going to release a product at this time of year or this time of year, or how much you want to change the product. Like, or a good example too would be Apple here. Like they release the iPhones every year in September. That's just before the holidays and whatnot, when people might buy them as gifts for people. Mentoring. So, as Dr. Cameron mentioned, I've been a mentor for 4 years. I mentored at the high school level all those 4 years. I got Maple Grove Junior Senior High School involved back my freshman year, and I've been their mentor ever since. And I also mentored a few teams at JCC, not this year, but I did last year. And yeah, I've done that for a while, and it's been pretty rewarding. I love working with the students, especially when they're at my level too. But yeah, it was also kind of fun at Maple Grove because some of these students I had known because it's a very small school. And so it was cool to kind of see their faces again in a different light. As I kind of mentioned before, too, I had a fellowship in 2024 that allowed me to expand the DataJam to the community college level. Um, and I did this by meeting with faculty at JCC, which was interesting. One of the faculty members there, the leader of the math department, she is actually one of my neighbors. I found that out. And I met with them and I presented the whole idea to them and what it was, and they all really liked it. And then I also later presented it to all of the teaching faculty for the college and high school courses. So all the high schools in Chautauqua and Cattaraugus County came in, and I was able to present to them. And it was given as an option to them to utilize as a final project because they have final projects they do in the classes. And this was an option that they had decided that they might want to use. But yeah, to kind of wrap everything up, wanted to touch back on the importance of data science everywhere. It's not only a mathematical thing. It could be arts, it could be medicine, it could be business, it could be anything. Data science is everywhere, and it's an ever increasing field, and that's why it's important to kind of get involved in, especially at a younger age. So, like I said, JCC is in a kind of rural area. It's in Jamestown, New York, not a huge area. And especially in some of those high schools, the college and high school level, Chautauqua and Cattaraugus County, those are extremely rural. So, kind of giving them this example of what data science is, the data jam, letting them see that, get hands-on experience is pretty crucial into allowing these students to expand their horizons, to grow into a field they may have not been exposed to in that area. But yeah, that's all I have. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. That was wonderful. And we really, really appreciate all the work you did to get Community College Data Jam going. I'm going to share my screen again here, and we're going to look at videos from rest of the teams.
Hi, we're Team 1 from Sinclair College, and our project was on understanding how socioeconomic disparities shape breast cancer incidence across Ohio counties.
Our research question was, to what extent do socioeconomic disparities influence breast cancer incidence rates across counties in Ohio, and what patterns emerge from this relationship?
We hypothesized that Ohio counties with lower income and limited access to nutritious foods would have higher breast cancer incident rates. Once we got into our research, we did refine our search to census tract levels for more precise and granular data.
3 years of census data and USDA food access data, cleaned them for visualizations and testing with Excel, and made some nice charts in Tableau.
We had a lot of suppressed cancer data, so we used integer programming for data imputation. We also calculated age-adjusted rates that were used to make fair comparisons between census tracts. We came to some conclusions that we thought were surprising and interesting and warrant further analysis.
Jamestown Team 4 asked, does the size of a household affect the number of animals the household has on its property? With the hypothesis that the more people in the household, the greater the number of animals they will have. Impressively, this team collected their own data by handing out 110 surveys to students on the Jamestown campus. The analysis, however, did not support their hypothesis. There was not a significant correlation between the number of people in the household and the number of animals that they had. They also asked which were the most popular animals, and you can see in this bar graph that cats and dogs far outweighed all other animals.
Jamestown Community College Team Number 11 investigated the extent of property damage caused by hurricanes in the United States over a 20-year period for their DataJam project. Hurricanes have appeared to make landfall more frequently and cause more damage in recent years, and the team's hypothesis reflects this sentiment. The team predicted that property damage caused by hurricanes has increased over time by a significant margin. After gathering data from the years 2000 to 2019 on hurricane frequency, hurricane landfall, and property damage cost estimates in US dollars, the team found that there was not enough evidence to demonstrate that the year alone could explain a significant increase in either hurricane frequency or property damage value over a 20-year period. The results of this project open the way to further research using variables such as location and hurricane strength. Great job on your DataJam project, Jamestown Team 11.
What a name. The big, the bad, scary, the United States Justice System. This was the project of Jamestown Team 12. They asked, are Black and brown individuals likely to receive harsher sentences compared to white individuals for comparable offenses? They hypothesized that Black and brown individuals would receive harsher sentences. They looked at firearm offenses as well as drug trafficking offenses. But in their data set, they did not see a significant difference in sentences given to the different races.
For their DataJam project, Jamestown Community College Team 7 wanted to investigate the factors that influence the performance of professional NBA basketball players on the court compared to their collegiate counterparts, with the team seeking to find the average height and weight of a college player compared to an NBA player, and whether or not these traits influence a player's performance. After examining data on basketball players' height, weight, and points scored, the team found that, on average, an NBA player is taller, weighs more, and scores more frequently than their college counterparts. All in all, this is a really interesting topic that is very relevant today given the popularity of both college and professional sports. Well done on your DataJam project, Jamestown Team 7.
Hi, I'm Nini from Pasadena Team 2. Our project analyzes age differences in financial literacy and investing behavior from 2018 to 2021. Comparing pre-pandemic with post-pandemic patterns allows us to understand how major events and digital investing tools influence people's financial decisions.
Hi everyone, my name is Lin and I am part of Pasadena Team 2. So our team hypothesized that higher financial literacy level would lead to a greater investment participation, especially among young adults. To test this, we used the NFCF state-by-state survey, comparing 3 age groups across 2018 and 2021 based on their literacy level, income, and investment ownership. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ariadna, and I'm part of Pasadena Team 2. Our results showed that income was the biggest indicator of investing, and we're excited to share more with you on our presentation. Thank you.
Jamestown Team 6 examined how goals scored by the Stanley Cup champions in the National Hockey League change over the course of the season. They hypothesized that as the season progresses, there would be fewer goals scored. And they were right. As you can see in this scatter plot, looking at the number of goals scored versus the game in the season, there was a significant decrease with a p-value of 0.034.
With their DataJam project, Jamestown Community College Team 9 chose to stick close to home and investigate the performance of 6 New York State college basketball teams. The team wanted to find out whether statistics like shooting percentage, turnovers, and rebounds were significant in predicting a team's chances of winning games. And they hypothesized that shooting percentage would have the greatest significance in determining whether or not a team would win a game. After collecting and analyzing basketball season data from 6 New York State colleges, the team found that both the shooting percentage and the turnover rate appeared to be closely linked to a team's chance of winning a basketball game. In their conclusion, Jamestown Team 9 advises their local college basketball teams to prioritize their ball control and shooting efficiency in order to win more games. Congratulations and well done on your DataJam project, Jamestown Team 9.
How has COVID-19 impacted obesity in New York State? Was the project undertaken by Jamestown Team 14. They hypothesized that during COVID, with quarantine, physical activities would decrease. And as shown in this graph here, they showed a significant decline in physical activity levels in 18 to 34-year-olds over the course of the COVID pandemic. However, this was not associated with an increase in obesity levels, as seen in the right-hand graph. Okay, the time you have all been waiting for. We are about to have awards. So let me share my screen again here. Okay, so as I said, and you've certainly heard all during this finale, there are 4 schools participating. I want to point out that the DataJam is run all by volunteers. Nobody has paid positions, and these volunteers play a central role in designing the DataJam competitions and overseeing how it runs worldwide now. So big thanks to the 2025 DataJam Board of Directors. We also want to send a big thank you out to those that served as judges for this particular competition. I've listed here all the individuals, many of whom are in the Women in Data Science organization and are ambassadors in WIDS. But we also have a number of judges that come from both academia and from business throughout the United States. So you had a number of highly qualified data scientists judging your projects. We also want to send a very big thank you to Pittsburgh Plate Glass Foundation, PPG. They are by far and away our biggest donor, but we are always looking for new donors. And I've put a QR code here. You can click on this QR code and get right to our website, thedatajam.org. Please think about making an end-of-the-year donation. We are completely dependent on donations from businesses and foundations to support the DataJam. We also want to call out a very big thank you to the faculty members at the community colleges who guide the DataJam teams. These include Ashley Natson and Angela Rayner at Jamestown Community College, Sanjay Kool at Queensborough, Paul Hansford at Sinclair, and Aaron Shaw at the Pasadena City College. If these faculty didn't take on supporting teams, it would be very difficult for teams to participate. So a big thank you to you. we had a lot of mentors involved in mentoring teams. They mentor by Zoom. So the mentors that mentored the teams this fall were from the University of Pittsburgh and from Caldwell University in New Jersey. All of them are listed here. And they've taken a course so that they have expertise in how to mentor the DataJam. They get background knowledge in how to teach students statistical approaches to data analysis. Also, how to work with different populations of students from different backgrounds. We try to meet teams at the level they're at and help them learn data science no matter where they are, from the beginning level to the very advanced level. And we also try to make sure the mentors are thinking about responsible data science and the ethics of analyzing data and having access to data. This is an important issue for everybody to think about. Okay, here it comes, the awards. So, third place for this fall goes to Queensborough Community College Team 1. Their project was preliminary analysis of single-cell RNA sequencing data of colorectal cancer tissue. This was a massive project looking at gene expression in a very large number of colorectal cancer cells, looking for new biomarkers that might indicate that an individual has colorectal cancer. The team members were Nafis Hassan, Haider Ali, Long Chen, and Chenji Zhang. Congratulations, Queensborough Community College. Second place goes to Pasadena City College, Team 2, for the project Mind the Age Gap, Financial Literacy and Market Participation across age groups between 2018, pre-COVID, and 2021, post-COVID. The team members were Ninian Lin, Thura, Yuwen Wang, and Aridana Guerrero. Congratulations, Pasadena City College Team 2. And last, but certainly not least, in fact, the most exciting first place prize goes to Sinclair College. So Team 1, understanding how socioeconomic disparities shape breast cancer incidence across Ohio counties. Team members were Caitlin Allard, Mackenzie Brockman, Alexander Gose, and Charles Lighty. Congratulations, Sinclair, Team 1. Great job. So we will be sending awards. Everybody that participated in the DataJam will get a certificate of participation and a small award for having participated. The winners will get trophies, and the winning team, we will arrange a field trip so that you can meet business data analysts that you're interested in meeting. Congratulations. Thank you all for participating in the Fall 2025 Community College DataJam. We will end on that note. Again, I have a QR code here that will take you right to our website, thedatajam.org. Congratulations.